move. We're shifting and shaking things to move the party towards democratization. And it is something that is not welcomed to the others. Now, I want people to understand the APC is still one solid body, and the Interim Transition Governance Committee is one body. There's no two separate ITGC. It's only one.
But it does not appear that way. Alfred Peter Conteh's faction would come out to the public, and there is the Abdul Kabo's faction coming out to the public with different messages contravening each other. So it appears there are two sets of APC members already.
Yes. So my situation, we had a lawsuit, we had 4 defendants, and the ruling came out in which all 4 defendants are supposed to come together, basically, in one way or the other. So the plaintiff, the guy that won the case, has no option but to work with the people he defeated. So now we have a committee of 21, 12 of which are former executive members. These are the people that we defeated in the case. So now coming together is difficult. They don't want to accept. I believe there's every effort, enough evidence to show that their intention is to ensure the ITGC fails. And we have said no to that.
When you say, forgive me, when you say those you took to court and defeated, is it a case of us versus them in the party at the moment?
In the party, yes. We have what I call the Some People Congress. People that are in the APC because they believe in certain individuals.
Right.
Then you have people in the APC that believed in the party. And then you have people in the APC that just want to have a jolly moment and have everything going right. So the fight, the struggle, is between the people that believe in certain individuals. The meeting you're saying, the call for me to leave, you can look at the I table. You'll see the people sitting there. These are the people that are resisting. These are the people that are always violent. These are the people that are issuing death threats. These are the people that are going out in public and issue, terrible things.
They are members of the APC.
They are members of the APC.
And you say your push has been for democracy within the party. Is it that agenda you're pushing that they're resisting? Not the you per se, but the agenda of democracy within the party?
The agenda of democracy is what they're pushing, they're kicking against. Prior to me taking over, there was mass printing of cards. They've printed all these fake cards. They manipulated the party's register. So they've done everything to ensure that should we go to elections, they say, since you want democracy, we're going to print cards only for people that are going to vote for us. So there are thousands of people that applied, never received their cards. We're talking of years. And then the people that they want, the people that they believe in, the people that they know are going to vote for them, were the only people that were receiving APC cards. So they've spent billions of leones in printing cards. Now those cards...
What are the day in this context?
The day are the defunct executive, the previous administration. So they've done everything possible to rig the democracy. But we came in, we put our case to the PPRC, and the case to the PPRC accepted the fact that the party's register is not credible. So therefore we have to go and re-register. At the same time, we have to do verification of the existing register. So that's the fight.
The confusion is, why would the membership put up a resistance against democracy when, if you go back to just after the 2018 elections, there are members of the party who blamed the loss on APC to the fact that even the process of getting the flag bearer was not democratic. So why would now that membership put up a resistance to democracy when there are some of those people who say it is because of the absence of democracy that they lost the 2018 elections.
So again, I take you to the high table. These are all the people that were benefiting from the selection. So it's not the entire APC. I want people to know. I call them the silent majority. They're sitting out there. They're looking at me, they're looking at you, they're looking at them. When those people come out, people will know that there's another side of APC that welcomes democracy. And soon they will come out.
When you say come out, in what specific context? Like expelling them from the party, or come out in what sense?
No, they will come out and show that we're in support of what this man is doing. We're in support of democracy. We're in support of having a level playing field to allow anybody in Sierra Leone, as long as you're 18 years old and you're willing to join the All People's Congress Party, you're free to join the party.
Why would there be allegations against you that you're sent by the APC main rival, the SLPP, to destabilize the APC and, you know, disenfranchise the party ahead of the 2023 elections? Why are there such allegations against you?
So those are the allegations they're using to fuel or mislead the people. Those allegations are always coming when they know they can't win the argument. It's simple. Come up with credible debates. Let's talk about it. I'm willing anytime. So anytime they lose the argument, they go out to incite the people that this guy is an agent of the SLPP.
Let's get to talk about the specific allegations against Alfred Peter Conteh. So first off, you've been accused of being a dictator, unilaterally making decisions. And we've seen evidently that Alfred will sign a press release, Honorable Abdul Kabir will sign another, countering each other, contradicting each other. So if you talk about your quest is to democratize the APC. Now, why are you being accused of being a dictator and unilaterally making decisions in the committee?
Well, being a dictator and unilaterally making decisions is in fact a crime. We have a court order that won't allow me to make a unilateral decision, especially when it has to do with executing those court orders. So every decision that I've made that has to do with executing those court orders have been something that we held a meeting. We will go into those meetings, we would deliberate, people would talk, people will give counter positions. At the end of the day, somebody will move a motion, somebody second the motion, we put it to vote, and they vote for it. So everything that I have done, we have evidence of meeting and minutes. So it's easy. I feel sometimes, I wonder how it's easy for somebody to just lie like that. Those are lies. That's all I'm trying to say. I've never done anything unilateral.
Those meetings you're referring to, the allegation is that, oh, Alfred has members of the committee that the court ordered for him to bring in as a chairman. And when Alfred wants to meet, Alfred calls his faction, his guys, his allies, or political stooges, should I put it. And those meetings are called when Parliament is sitting. So the other guys would not be present in those meetings. And evidently, when Alfred calls with his own guys, they form a quorum. So whether or not these MPs are there, let's wait, we call meeting when they have sittings in Parliament and they're not available. That's the allegation here.
So those allegations are also false. We've called meetings when Parliament is sitting, and they will attend. They've attended numerous meetings when Parliament is sitting. And to say we can't do anything as a party because the parliamentarians are not around, that also is not something we're willing to accept. So this is what's going on. If Parliament is sitting, let's assume, and we call the meeting, if those parliamentarians, all 8 of them, decided not to come, we have 4 members that's supposed to come. So we should have at least 13 people, provided everybody else have the luxury of coming to the meeting. Now, when that happens, you can understand, okay, we have a committee, we have 13 people, they can voice their opinion. You can ask anybody that I brought into my into the ITGC. I've never prepped them to go in and vote for anything or any particular. Nobody will tell me or will tell you he told me to do this. They have freedom. So at the end of the day, you call a meeting, you're expecting to see 21 people, and then you go in, they're doing what they call a boycott. So all 12 of them will refuse to come. There is a press release to the effect, a letter that we wrote, an open letter to the leader of the opposition in parliament, basically echoing the behavior of the parliamentarians, because we've called 9 meetings and they've boycotted all 9 meetings.
Your agenda initially is to imbibe democracy into the party, but you seem to be failing.
No. Actually, like I said, if you listen to the noise, that's what the picture they're trying to paint. As I speak to you today, we've started training people that are going to conduct the registration process. It started on Monday. We've done, I think, 7 districts as I speak, and we're working towards training people. Next week, Monday, the APC will start officially to re-register and verify the old register, and have in 20 days time from Monday, we'll finish all the registration. We'll have a new set of register that has the level of credibility that we're looking at. And after that, we're going to go into elections. It's going to happen. They're fighting so that don't happen. They're doing everything. And they have some support from some government institutions.
The they you keep referring to, you've not been able to come up with names. And on the part of those who accuse you, they're bold enough to mention your name as the key problem in the party right now. But you keep saying they, and who are the they specifically?
Well, it's 12 people that are holding us back. The judge, in his wisdom, has dealt with the APC for some time. In this final judgment that he gave, he appointed one position in the APC, the chairman. That's it. Because he knew the last time he gave a ruling, he appointed a secretary, and the secretary didn't do well. You know, in fact, things came out to the point where the outgone Secretary General was found guilty of contempt, which is a criminal offense. You understand? So this time around, the judge said, I am going to have only a chairman. So we sat down in the committee. We said, all right, let's create standing committees. These standing committees, that's where we created the secretariat. It's made up of 5 people. And we created the publicity, we created organizing, we created the finance committee. These are all sets of people. But the only committee that is going after or against everything we're doing, the committee that the defunct executive is using to throw spanners into the works of the ITGC, became the secretariat. So we looked at it, we said, okay, we held a meeting, again, a legitimate meeting. We said, people came up with different proposals, that the behavior of the Honorable Abdul Kabo is just unacceptable. His behavior is maladministration. Nobody has ever seen that type of behavior, where the chairman will ask you to put out a press release, you will refuse, and then once the chairman does it, you will go on, because I am the head of each of those standing committee, because I'm a member of each of them. So that's what's going on. They came up with a resolution after the meeting, and in that resolution, the ITGC decided that the Honorable Abdul Kabo is no longer secretary of the committee and is no longer part of the secretariat because of this thing you're talking about.
And with all the infight within the party, well, the one after the election, after 2018, the court sessions back and forth, and back where you're at right now as a political party, it seems it's just an easy wave for the SLPP to retain the presidency in 2023 elections.
It seems. I like the word it seems, but it is not going to happen. Like I told you, we'll do what it takes.
But how successful would it be? A house that cannot hold itself together, a destabilized and disorganized house, not in unity. How do you go then into a battle?
So, like I said, we're working towards it. By the end of next week, I'll probably come again and tell you that the APC registered this much people already, and we're on track.
Are you heading to fail the next election, to lose the election woefully?
No, the next election we're going to win, and there's not going to be a runoff. I want you to take that to the bank.
Let me take you back quickly just to the allegations. You've removed Honorable Abdul Kago as a secretary of the committee, which again boils down to some major allegations that, these Honorable Abdul Kago's faction is just standing in the way of Alfred Peter Conteh's scheme. And the scheme here is Alfred Peter Conteh is conniving, is conspiring with Chief Samuel Samsumana to give him the leadership of the party. And Samsumana is said to be your biggest benefactor, putting monies in your pocket. How true?
It's all false. Let me just explain that.
Go ahead.
In the ruling that the judge gave, it said prior to the NDC, which is the National Delegates Conference, he wants the ITGC to resolve all unresolved membership disputes in accordance to Article 10 of the APC Constitution. So all we did was do what the judge wanted. We came out with a statement resolving all unresolved membership issue. Now it's a resolution. And in putting a resolution that has a history, what do? You have to do citation. So we cited instances where the former vice president and member of this party was reinstated. It was reinstated after we lost the first rounds of the election. At that time, the Honorable Alpha Khan was the publicity secretary of the APC. He stood at the party's office and he made the pronouncements welcoming Chief Alhaji Samsumana back into the APC. The former vice president, Victor Fo, was on TV welcoming the former Vice President Chief Alhaji Samsumana back into the APC. And after that, they held a NAC meeting. Now, I want you to know a non-APC member will not attend the NAC meeting. So Chief Alhaji Samsumana was invited. He attended a NAC meeting. He walked into the meeting. He got a standing ovation. They talked. He stayed in the meeting. Did
he attend that meeting as a member of NAC or invited by NAC?
Invited by NAC as a member of the APC. You cannot go there if you're not APC. So he was already reinstated. So we used his situation as a citation. So that's all. But we gave a blanket. It's not amnesty. Everybody that was illegally, because we know most of these people that were removed from the APC were not removed legally. They were removed because somebody said, I have the power to do so, I'm doing so.
That unconditional acceptance of Chief Alhaji Samuel Samsumana into over APC. I mean, with all the public statements you've mentioned that were made by APC stalwarts, some APC stalwarts, it goes back to after the elections, Chief Alhaji Samuel Samsumana, in a letter written to the APC Secretariat, requested to join the APC again. And then we saw a reply from the Secretariat saying it's only the highest body that expelled Chief Samuel Samsumana that has the authority to reinstate him, and that highest body has not met. So how comes did this committee give an unequivocal reinstatement to Chief Alhaji Samuel Samsumana with those letters in the public domain?
It's a beautiful question. Now, I want us to understand what we did.
Go ahead.
We reinstated everybody. It wasn't just Chief Alhaji Samsumana. Everybody. Everybody that was aggrieved, like what you said, based on what the previous administration did. So we reinstated everybody unconditionally. And speaking to you, this is the highest decision-making body of the APC currently. So waiting for another highest decision-making body, that's up to them, as far as I'm concerned.
But does the committee have the authority to reinstate anyone?
The committee does. The judge gave us the power in the ruling, paragraph 9010, that this committee governs the overall affairs of the APC up until the NDC, which is the National Delegates Conference.
That reinstatement is apparently what has brought about contestations in the APC now. Because for many, in fact, Alfred Peter Conteh has received 100 million from Chief Alhaji Samuel Samsumana. He has received 80 million, and these are monies which, people said, Alfred, you have received from Chief Alhaji Samuel Samsumana as your benefactor, so you're doing all you can to give him the ticket of the APC for the 2023 elections.
So let's put those monies into perspective.
Go ahead.
We walked in on the 13th of May. That's when we took over. On the 26th of June, unprecedented elections. We're talking of 6 by-elections. Okay? We walked in, the coffers of the APC was laughable, let's put it this way. Okay? We called a meeting of stakeholders at the party office. All of us, 21 of us, were present. And we put the case that we need money. The initial budget for what we need to run 6 by-elections was around 2-point-something billion leones. So we put the case forward to them.
And the party did not have that?
Not near. So we put that case in front of them. All of them were there. All the so-called flag bearers, former flag bearer, aspirants, and all that. And Chief Alhaji Samsumana was there too. So he stood up and said, I'm going to pledge 100 million leones towards this project. After that, few other people pledged 5 million and little, whatever they can. The next day, he came with the money and handed it over to the APC ITGC, not me. And I have a ledger distribution of the monies. So it's not like I took the money and kept it no. We gave it to the finance committee. The finance committee took a ledger. I'm going to make that public to put all this to rest. And the finance committee disbursed the money. Honorable Aaron, you're in charge of Tonkolili. That's where constituency 056, he signed next to the money he received. So that's the 100 million. Then we came to another big event, which was the National Voters Registration Drive. We were supposed to have 1,815 agents times 2. You multiply it by 2 because it's 2 agents per registration center. And you have to give them incentive. You have to pay them. We did an estimate. That was supposed to be 3.5 billion. We put the message out that the party needs money. Chief Alhaji Samsumana came and gave 80 million towards that. And that also, we have the way the money was spent. So that's the 100 and the 80.
Alfred, continue to stay with us. We'll come back to continue this conversation. You mentioned that Chief Samsumana has been giving that money to sort of support the activities of the party. But is he the only financial contributor towards the expenses of the committee?
No, he's not. There are others. But the question is, they're using his contribution to finding the divide. The reality is he's the highest contributor, if you're looking to put things in perspective. So the time for the by-elections after we received 100 million from it. When you combined everybody else's, it's around 100 and maybe 20 or 30 million. So if one person puts something like 45%, you know, so he's been the highest contributor. Like I was saying with the national voters registration, we needed 3-point-something billion. We ended up getting 115,500,000.
If he is not the only financial contributor, why single out his contribution and make an issue out of it?
So this is what happened. After we lost the election in 2018, most of the aspirants that aspired to become flag bearer started campaigning. And even the former flag bearer started campaigning. So they've campaigned for over 4 years. And now we have a court ruling that says, we want you to bring everybody that was here before, or whatever, resolve whatever membership issues you have. And we did that. Now by doing that, people are just afraid that he's gonna come, he's gonna run to become president. We're dealing with membership issues. Whatever comes after is not our concern. Our concern is the judge told us, we want you to resolve all unresolved membership issues. And we've done that.
And speaking of resolving membership issues, what's the level of support or cooperation given to the interim committee by Alpha Khan?
Well, Alpha Khan is basically out there, you know, and...
Is he still a member of the APC?
Well, according to him, he's still a member of the APC.
According to the party?
No, according to Alpha Khan.
No, but according to the party, is he a member of the party?
Oh, yeah, he is a member of the
Okay.
party.
And what level of support has he been given the committee?
Well, he hasn't been visible, or he hasn't shown, he hasn't given any level of support, per se. So he's out there, but he hasn't evolved into the committee.
Let me quickly ask this question before we take some messages, Alfred. The PPR, I read a letter from the PPRC that the commission is concerned that even the court order, I mean, the party does not seem to be going with the court order, and so they invited even, I think, elders of the party and some state actors to a meeting so they can help to redeem the APC. First off, how did the committee receive that particular statement from the PPRC?
Well, any effort to bring peace is welcomed by the committee. Any effort. It's unfortunate, in my estimation and other people's estimation, the PPRC has been part and parcel, if not the problem, in this particular committee. The judge...
Do you consider the PPRC to be part of the problems?
Yes.
Go ahead.
This is why. We have a committee known as the ITGC. When the PPRC want to deal with the ITGC, even in their directives for the lower level elections, they were taking 2 submissions. When they write to us, they write 2 letters, one to the chairman and one to the secretary. And everything they came up with is something that just will find a divide. So I had a meeting on Monday with the PPRC chairman, and I told him to his face, I said, you're the problem. You cannot treat the ITGC as 2 separate entities. We're one. In fact, a newspaper came in and said the PPRC is conniving with the sacked Secretary General. I tweeted that also, just so people will understand. So the fight, the problem we're having is mainly people are looking at this and they say, oh, let's see how we can make them, let's see how we can divide them further.
And speaking of that, on the phone now with